You are now watching a clip from the Inspired by show. You can watch the full episode on our YouTube channel or listen on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure to head over there, leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it, and follow the show. Are we asking the right questions?
Yeah.
So I suppose to put that to you, what do you think we can be doing better to connect with others and actually ask the right questions to check in? People going, are you actually fucking okay?
Yeah. Great question. One of the biggest things I've always spoken about with gut health and gut brain connection is that when somebody comes to you goes, or if somebody comes up to you goes, hey, how you doing? What do you really want them to really ask you? Or if I was to ask you, Chloe, I was like, how you doing, Chloe? Yeah, I'm not great. What would I say to that to add value and help you? Most people, and I know most of my friends have said this in the past, they go, don't worry about it. It's Friday or it's Wednesday. Let's just go down the pub, have a few drinks, just forget about it. How you help someone will determine how successful that connection is. And I think, how do you help yourself then? Because that's a true reflection, I feel. If I ever said to somebody, yeah, let's just go down the pub and just drink our worries away, it's all fun, and sing and dance in the rain or something like that. I think that gives me an insight as to how that person helps themselves or not. So the biggest thing I ever learned was, how do I help myself first? Unapologetically, selfishly, right? Like, how you connect with others determines how you connect with yourself. If you're one of those people where you forget about yourself and you put yourself to the side, which I have done, and you just go onto this people-pleasing path of just making sure you're there for everyone, but not yourself, sooner or later you're going to burn out. Sooner or later you're going to get frustrated, and sooner or later you're going to be just resentful with life. And for me, that was not okay. I just didn't want to go down that path. I knew that was going to come up. At that point, I knew myself a bit too well. I was like, yeah, I get to do this differently. Yeah, 100%. So, by the end of that year of 2018, where I lost my dad, I didn't have the business at the time, and I was kind of just in limbo, if you call it. By the end of that year, I just had a gut infection for 4 years that I didn't even know I had, literally under my skin. So I was like, how many things in the last 6 years that I allowed to get under my skin, that I didn't speak up about, that pissed me off, and I just didn't do anything about it. I went, no, it's okay. It's fine. Well, that really pissed me off. I should have said something. And it just festers and festers away at night when you can't sleep. That will manifest how you show up in the body, like the symptoms. It's just all communication. When you really look at it, your body's always communicating at you. You've got answers right under your nose. So for me, that has been massively transformational. And I use that same tools in business, how I connect with people, friends, family, like every day, and including myself. So
Interesting. What would you say stops people, let's go specifically entrepreneurs, because I'm not saying anyone who's listening or watching, you don't also struggle to put yourself first. A lot of mums will put their families first. A lot of people will put people before themselves. But I've noticed it a lot the most in entrepreneurs, because they put everything, their life, their business, and they are the bottom of the pile. What would you say to people like that about reconnecting with themselves?
I think if you're in business, or if you're an entrepreneur that wants to prove something to someone else, stop doing that. Because you don't make it about the business, you're making it about proving yourself to someone else. And I know that because that's the first thing I did. I ran a marathon as well. It's like years ago, just to prove that I could do a marathon, but my body was in bits after it. But it's the same sort of mentality with business. I was like, if you're just doing it to prove that you can make money, or you prove that you can do a business, stop doing that. Think about why. We don't ask enough about why we're doing a lot of things. I have conversations every week with female entrepreneurs through networking online, through my businesses, our business. And one of the questions I always ask is, okay, why is this so important to you? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to take this particular path? And they go into the what and the how. I was like, no, but I asked why. And it's the same thing. Mentors that have asked me, why though? Dig deep. Entrepreneurship, I've said this before, is an inside job. Always has been, always will be. It's not an external thing. That's why most businesses do not last a year or two. Why entrepreneurs hop from one business to another, to another, to another with a trail of mess behind them. Look at it from the inside out, not outside, and then keep it outside. So yeah.
What do you think is the scariest part, though, of really digging deep and looking in? Because let's be honest, it's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do get a slap in the face of something you didn't expect to find.
Yeah.
So what do you think stops people from digging deep?
Just the ugliness of it. Like, it's raw. It's vulnerable shit. Like, it really is. Things that you've probably don't even realize you've just layered upon plasters and masked it with whatever stories you wanted, because you just don't want to go there. It's so uncomfortable that you'd rather just be happy the way you are. And that's okay too, but don't moan about the results as well, or lack of. So it's really uncomfortable. It's not sexy work at all. And I think that's the biggest problem as well, especially in gut health and entrepreneurship. Everyone wants the glorified stuff. I was like, you got to do the work. I wouldn't be sat here in your studio right now if I didn't do the crap work, the stuff that just made me uncomfortable, the stuff that had made me cry days on end, even at night, to a point where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. You have to go through that uncomfortable journey to come out to the other side. It's not the glorified stuff that people often gets portrayed on social media, or certain particular entrepreneurs that might say that, you know, do this and that and you're good. You're good as gold. I think that's bullshit.
Yes, Shim. I love this.